Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I hope you're all doing okay today and that you're ready for some more The House in Fata Morgana. Also, I'm very sorry that I'm late, but if you didn't read my little message on the community tab, I had an emergency doctor's appointment that I felt like I just had to take because I am quite certain that I have UTI, which is not very pleasant, so I want some medication. And also I actually got a message now on my phone that I am going to get medication for it, so I'm very happy about that because the test came out negative, as it always does for some reason for me. Like, my body feels like one big anomaly, really, because it was the same thing with like my blood clot. I only felt an extreme pain in my leg. There was no redness, I wasn't swollen or anything, just pain. And I am way too young to have a blood clot as well, so the doctors was like, no, it's probably nothing, it's probably a muscle strain. And then it was a blood clot. And every time I have a feeling that I have UTI, they always say that the test comes out negative, but antibiotics do in fact help, so my body is weird. Maybe it's because I'm a vampire, I don't know. No worries about being late, health is more important than always. Yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. But I still wanted to just apologize anyway, because that's who I am. So yeah, last time that we left off, we were discovering the Maid's Tale, and we ended just when door 1 was about to begin all over again. So this will be very interesting. Need to chew your blood supply a little more so it doesn't get stuck in your veins. Maybe, I don't know what's the problem really. As I said, my body is just one big anomaly. But hey, I'm alive and it could be a lot worse, so I'm not complaining. I've been waiting for my train, been saying it'll be there in 20 minutes for 20 minutes. Oh, that's lovely. Perfect, that's exactly what you want to hear. But you know, it's winter in Sweden. We never have winter, do we? So it's to be expected. It's really insane how the trains work here. I'm so happy I don't have to deal with that. I mean, buses are not better, I would say, because they do tend to be late as well, but at least there always is a bus, I feel like. Whereas trains just are very unreliable. But yeah, since I'm late, I'm not gonna drag this on for too long, so let's just jump right into the game. Just gonna make sure I have sound, and also tell me if the sound is too loud, because we had to fix the sound for the Bloodborne stream, so I have no idea how loud the music is for you guys. Oh, dearest Mel, come over here. There are so many beautiful flowers. Now, Nelly, there's no need to run. You're going to fall, and you can't say I didn't warn you. Is it all sound pleasant at the moment? Perfect. Hello, I've never seen you before. Are you the new maid? Good afternoon, Lady Nelly. That is correct. It is an honor to serve you. Oh! Did you do all this? I did not. The garden was your grandfather, Lord Hayden's work. Wow! Is grandfather a wizard? Perhaps he was. I'm sure he would be delighted to know you like it. Did grandfather like flowers? Yes, he loved them quite dearly. Wow! I love flowers too. I've never seen a garden with so many pretty flowers. Did you know that this kind of flower is called a rose? Just like our name. Why yes, they do sound alike. And like the flowers, you are also a very sweet little girl. Say, what's your favorite color of rose? I like all colors. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. But you don't like any the most? That's too bad. My favorite is pink. Pink roses are so pretty. Indeed they are. Ah, jeez, there you are, Nelly. Oh, my apologies. Please don't mind my sister. Oh, not at all. We were having the most wonderful time. That's good. I imagine we'll be seeing each other around, so it's a pleasure to... Dearest smell, dearest smell! Let's see what's the inside's like. Mother says I have my very own room. Slow down, Nelly. I beg your pardon. The inseparable siblings ran off toward the mansion, hand in hand. It was a heartwarming sight. But the next moment, when they stepped inside, I saw something else. The darkness enveloping the mansion seemed to flare up, the open door a gaping maw into its hungry bowels. The whole house looked as though it was cackling. It was, I presume, the witch Morgana's madness taking form, a manifestation of how she felt now that her centuries in the making wish was bearing fruit. Those two children were the ones Morgana had been waiting for. Had I still had any willpower to fight left in me, I would have taken them by the hands and sent them somewhere far away. I would have done something before the house swallowed them up. But instead, I just gently lowered my eyes. Misfortune would surely sink its teeth into those two children before long. Pain and misery would befall them. I knew no good lay ahead for them, but my heart had all but frozen solid. I had my hands full taking care of myself. So I let Hayden's beloved grandchildren fall into the witch's hands. I was, for all intents and purposes, Morgana's marionette. It's really nostalgic to be back in door 1 again. It's been so long. At long last it has arrived. The time I have been waiting so long for has arrived. Darling, devoted Giselle, I know not how to describe for you the fiery excitement burning within me. Oh, I know. I can tell you my story. Tell you exactly what that mild-mannered little boy once did. You'll be open to listening now, won't you, my dear? And you'll surely understand that I'm doing nothing wrong. Because you're my ally, my trusty servant. You and I, we live in the same world. We're as close as family, are we not? Yes, as you say. So let us curse them, all of them. Let us inflict a pain worse than physical torture on them. Let us put their souls on the rack for all eternity. Curse them, make them suffer, curse them. Now listen carefully, Giselle. This is a tale of wicked men, and my curse upon them. The witch spat her curses for some time, the bile overflowing from her words, the pure, unadulterated hatred brimming within, consumed me more than the horrifying things they described. She was brutally honest, each word a carefully sharpened blade of animosity. How much bitterness did you have to carry inside you to become like her? How long did you have to feel nothing but hatred to become like her? I felt like, if I let my guard down, I would be consumed by her enmity. It would become mine, and I would grow to despise them myself. All the while I kept my mind on one single thing. That is, what was left of my mind locked away inside a shell of my own creation. It was that solitary truth that allowed me to hold on to my human emotions, to continue believing. I'm always waiting. My love will never fade. When I was still my old self, I called them master, and I would do anything for them. Michelle, that was their name. They were beautiful. They had pearly white hair and ruby eyes. They are going to come for me. Oh, guys, this hurts so much. I hate this. Michelle, all I can remember about you is your name, your glassy white skin, your fiery red eyes, and your snow-colored hair. Nothing else. And that's why, when I saw her that night, dripping from the storm raging outside, I thought, you're finally here. Because I didn't remember enough to know any better. You already know who I speak of, don't you? The person who called upon Rose Manor that fated stormy night. The girl with almost translucently pale skin, chillingly white hair, and eyes like Yule's. Ah, what a beautiful girl. Her hair, her eyes, her porcelain skin. It all matches the person in my memories. She must be the one I've been waiting for. This music is so pretty too. Yeah, it's so beautiful. I love this song. If she is something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It's only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Unseen force? Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It is called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that is not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within the house. A witch? I have not heard any such stories. You probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. Should I consider that a compliment? A peculiar presence, she says. Does she sense something in me, as I do her? This has to be her then. Her name. I need to ask her name. It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing? Yes? I do not believe you have given me your name yet. My name? My name is Michelle. Ah, I knew it. You are the one. What? You are the one I've been waiting for. I have endured so much in anticipation of this moment. So that I could reunite with you. You came to this place to see me again, did you not? Held tight to those wonderful memories until you could make it back to me. I never gave up hope. I always believed, and I hope you praise me for that. And I ask you to please say my name. To please make me... I don't know anything about you. I'm sorry. You seem to be confusing me for someone. We have never met before now. You jest. You are Michelle, are you not? That is my name, yes, but it's a fairly common name. Surely you're confusing me with... That cannot be. That white hair, white skin, those red eyes. And that name. The name of the Archangel. Everything about you is the same. How can you say you're not my Michelle? Please, Michelle, remember for me. Stay away from me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. You would reject me? I'm so sorry. I honestly don't know you. Do you care nothing anymore for the time we spent together? We have not spent any time together. Poor Maid, I feel like this is going to make you want to watch it even more. Yeah. I definitely. She has been through a lot, for sure. I'm not sure how much you have watched yet, Quill, but yeah, the Maid has been through a lot waiting for her, Michelle, and this is clearly not the one, so it's very heartbreaking. You would deny everything. I'm sorry. I see. So you feel nothing for me anymore? You do not need to say anything. I understand. You are feeling a great deal of disgust toward me. No, Or perhaps it's fear. Yes, you were always so kind. You would not easily allow yourselves to succumb to hatred. I understand. Please, forget everything I have said. Who are you? I am but a simple maid, nothing more. Oof. I really like the detail that they are spelling the name different as well, like to really point that out that it's not the same person, that they don't really have the same name even though it sounds the same. Laughable, isn't it? I no longer recognize Michelle as anything more than a concept. Man or woman, elderly or infant, as long as they had white hair, red eyes and the right name, they were you. I needed anything I could get. I was so desperate the thought never even crossed my mind that she was not you. What do you think, seeing me like this? That I'm helpless and hopeless? Listen to this, Morgana. Michelle is back. She's finally come for me. But she does not remember anything, it seems. Not me, not our past, nothing. She saw me and was afraid, in fact. Are you listening, Morgana? Ah, darling devoted Giselle. You poor, pitiful soul. That must have been quite harrowing. But don't worry, you still have me. Besides, this might not be your only chance. As long as you continue on, Michelle could appear before you again. Do you think she will remember me next time? I can't say. That's up to Michelle. You do have another option, though. Forget Michelle yourself and seek out a new master. Someone who can be yours. Someone dedicated and faithful, who needs you. Someone worthy of this mansion. Someone who needs me. That's right. Michelle didn't need you after all. It's all right. Don't worry. You have plenty of time. This is so conflicting. It's very nostalgic, but it's also so sad to see this through the maid's eyes because it hurts. Also, Morgana is a master gaslighter. 100%. Also, the music really does make a difference, because door 1 was always a very, like, the music was always kind of happy in that one, and now it's just so sad and depressing. Oh, and she gives her the dress. We have really come so far from this door. It's really been a journey. It's raining again today. I kind of wonder what happened to him after he fled from the mansion. Although, I suppose it doesn't much matter to me. The witch is surely watching him. Such a dreadful storm. It sounds like someone is crying. I was, at that point, completely out of my mind. Broken. My smiles, frowns and gasps had all been replaced with imitations. Shortly afterward, the flaxen-haired boy moved out of the house and went on to become a priest. The girl fell ill a few years later, her disease eventually taking her life. But the boy never once returned home. The Rhodes family crumbled. I couldn't bring myself to grieve for them, or to reflect on Hayden's sorrowful end. I simply waited for time to begin moving once more. On to the second door. Little remains to be said about my broken self, but as I stated before we began, this is the Maid's tale, so I would like to take this opportunity to elaborate on events I was unable to show you before. That is, if you can bear listening to such a dismal, miserable story. I already told you of my meeting with the beast, so I will begin the second tale from here. After Bestia slaughtered the merchant who showed up at the mansion, his mad laughter echoing through the halls. Oh god, I had forgotten about all that. And so on and so forth. I need to drink some water. Oh wow, it's still going. Did you hear that? Did you hear his screams? He said I was a monster. A mutilated body lay sprawled across the living room floor. Oh no, she's lost it. I have not lost it. It's Yukimasa who's lost it. As you can imagine, that was my first time ever seeing such a bloody, mangled corpse. I could not look directly at it, so I averted my eyes. Did Lolly ever have it? Well, debatable. Highly debatable. Hey, you saw it. I just proved that beasts are stronger than humans. Indeed, you did. Ah, I know. I've got a great idea. You asked if I wanted to become the master, and I said I did. Which means you work for me, isn't that right? So you'll do whatever I tell you to do, won't you? What would you have me do? Chop off his arms and legs and make a stew out of them. And don't you hesitate, or you'll end up like him. Yes, master. He's trying to assert his total dominance over me. That's not proper behavior for the master. Although, I am the one who offered him the role. Do it. He's an utterly mad beast. But am I really all that different? Ah, there's blood all over my hands. Oh, the sounds. It sounds like someone's laughing. Is it him? Or is it her? No matter what happens, it won't affect me. The cocoon is not the real me. I was looking down at what could only be described as a pile of human debris. I had done this, but that fact did not register with me. I felt nothing at all. Not regret, not anger, not sorrow or despair. Put it on the fire. He said it traded in spices. That should give him a very unique flavor. How am I supposed to work with this? I was, quite simply, puzzled. No one had ever made such a request of me in my hundreds of years at the mansion. That's all I was, puzzled. But he interpreted it as hesitation or fear. So he grabbed me by the shoulder, knocked me to the floor, and skewered me with that curious blade of his. For the first few moments, he wore that deranged grin of his, but as the seconds passed, it slowly transformed into shock. Not a drop of blood spilled from my breast. And the instant he realized it, I saw revulsion in his eyes. Him, of all people. A man who cackled as he slaughtered others, were disgusted by a mere maid. It was absurd. So much so I almost wanted to cry. You. Is that all, master? Are you not going to dismember me? You could try stabbing my face, or my neck, or my stomach, or any other part of me. Perhaps then I might die. Oh now, don't look at me like I'm some exotic creature. Stop that. Quit laughing. Why should I? My only distinctive feature is my smile. I have nothing else. My hands are covered in blood, but I can still smile. It's ridiculous. I get it now. You're the witch, aren't you? Ah, I see. Only monsters ever had a place here. Is this what 50 Shades is like? Oh my god! I cannot say because I have not read that book or watched that movie, and I will never do that, but who knows? Nah, I doubt it. I seriously doubt that. Every so often, I hear a woman's voice inside my head. That's you, isn't it? You're the witch! Monster, witch, maid. What am I? Who is Giselle? Michelle said she was spirited, true to herself, that she often laughed and cried and shouted. Ooh. But I don't know anyone like that. I'm just a maid. Nothing more than a servant. The woman's voice he had said he heard was probably the real witch's. But I had no interest in that. I almost would have preferred not having to think about anything at all. Nothing would cause me to waver if my head was empty. A world without joy or sorrow sounds quite wonderful. But nothing ever went the way I planned. For the white-haired girl, whom I thought I would never see again, appeared before me once more. I was quite nearly in a panic. Beneath my perfectly practiced smile was a veritable storm of emotions. Faint hope flared up within my shell. Perhaps this time, Michelle would remember me. But that hope was, unsurprisingly, in vain. Is someone there? Yes, I came by to ask if there was anything you needed. I cannot offer you anything extravagant, not like before, but I am here to provide you with anything in my capacity. I appreciate the offer, but I need nothing. Being allowed to stay the night is more than enough. Do you work here in the mansion? Yes, indeed I do. I have been here for a very, very long time. A very long time? You might think this is an odd question, but have we met before? Something about you seems familiar. And I get the feeling I have been in this mansion before. Yes, we have met. It was quite some time ago, though. When was it? It was an unimaginably long time ago. Do you remember a boy and a girl with flaxen hair? Flaxen hair? I apologize. My memory fails me. Do you not remember me either? I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember anything this time either. But I will not be so pushy this time. I cannot bear to be so blatantly rejected again. I see. You should probably not push yourself to remember them. There were joyous times, and there were less than joyous times. But would you be so kind as to answer one question? What might your name be? My name? My name is Michelle. White hair, red eyes, and the name Michelle. Why must you continue to bring me pain? Why can you not set me free as you were supposed to? I see. So we are Michelle again. Again? You should get some rest. I will make tea for you in the morning. Also, go on, close your eyes. The white-haired girl lay so quietly in her bed, I could not tell whether she was asleep or awake. Even the sound of her breathing was too faint to hear. Standing over her, looking down at her, the locked-away despair and waves of lamentation I thought myself no longer capable of came bubbling back to the surface. But can you honestly blame me? I have been waiting for Michelle for so long. She was the one thing holding me up. She was the only thing keeping my broken self from falling apart completely. Yet she claimed not to remember me. Did you pity her, having to go through tragedy after tragedy? But every time she showed up, she said she did not know me, bringing me more and more grief. I have been waiting for hundreds of years. waiting for her for so long, my mind slipping away with every passing day, waiting and waiting and wait. My apologies. I have to be careful, or I slip back to what I was then. If you weren't here holding my hand now, Tell me, you are Michelle, aren't you? That's a relief to hear. Yes, thank you. I'm alright. Do you think I'm as muddled as I feel? Let us return to the tale then. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know how much it hurts. For someone you waited so long for, to say they don't know you. You have no idea how much it crushes me. Rather than feel like this anymore, maybe I should just end it all with my own hands. I reached my hands out toward her slender neck. I was not an especially strong woman, but I thought even I would be able to suffocate her with relative ease. She was blind, at that, so she wouldn't be able to run. However, that was one thing I could not bring myself to do. I can't do it. I ran and I ran and I ran, though I knew I had nowhere to run, plunging myself into the mansion's darkness. I did not want to be there any longer. I did not want to have anything to do with her. But being an inhuman inhabitant of the house, I could not close my eyes or plug my ears to what happened within its walls, as much as I may have wanted to. It didn't matter where I was. I had no say in the matter. I was forced to observe the events until their tragic conclusion. Twisted, bloody madness. Their wretched wails creating a whirlwind of misery. When it was all over, Morgana cackled like a little girl. Go on, you have a laugh too, my dear. There's nothing in the world better than this. He was a beast through and through. And what a fool he was to think he could become human. Ah, I love it! He destroyed everything he had with his own hands, and then couldn't even manage to mourn for it. You just want to give Maid Giselle all the hugs ever? Yeah, she deserves all the hugs ever. She really, really does. Quite the unfortunate fate, wouldn't you say? Go on, laugh with me. Laugh with me, my darling, devoted Giselle. Michelle is dead too, though. You're worried about that tiny little detail. She'll show up again, of course. So you don't need to worry about that thing. You don't need to feel bad about any of this carnage. Rest easy, my darling, devoted Giselle. If you say so, then I shall not be concerned. Yes, that's good. Laugh! Laugh, my dear! Sorry guys, I need to do a quick cough. I'll be back. Not sure if that helped, but anyways. I apologize for making you listen to my dreadful stories for so long. You must be quite weary of them by now. But worry not, for this is the final one. And despite being the end, it is neither dramatic nor exciting. It was a single phrase, the most insignificant of things, that caused me to completely lose myself and forget I had long ago been the woman called Giselle. There was no malice in it. It was but a simple greeting. Do you remember how the first time she arrived? Michelle said I had a peculiar presence about me. She felt something there between us. And the second time, she said something about me seemed familiar. She did not remember why, but her soul recognized the bonds we shared. So I assumed that the next time she showed up, she would feel something even stronger, or perhaps even have her memories. Despite having been let down again and again, I still held on to the faintest glimmer of hope. But when she appeared, she was someone else's wife. Hey! Hey, head maid! Get out here! I am right here, sir. Is something the matter? I figured you should get to know her as soon as possible, since you'll be spending a lot of time looking after her. Hey, get out here! Christ, there's not a goddamn confident bone in your body, is there? I'm sorry. I'll be right out. Me. The first thing she said when she saw me was, "It's a pleasure to meet you." It's a pleasure to meet you. What had I spent all that time waiting for? It was all for naught. It was all meaningless. In this era, she felt nothing at all for me. In retrospect, it makes enough sense. But for me, at the time, that was the end. Morgana! Morgana! Cast me into darkness! Make me a formless being like you! I don't want to be here another second! I don't want to look at her ever again! Morgana! Morgana! Please, listen to me! I'm begging you! Now, what's the matter, my dear? It's not like you to throw a tantrum. I can't take it anymore. I can't do this. Michelle again? Oh, you poor thing. Betrayed 3 times now. Morgana, you pitiful girl. Don't groan like you're having a bad dream, my dear. I am here for you. Please, Morgana, erase me from existence. If you go away, then I will be all alone. And that would be absolutely dreadful. But I... Tell me, what torments you so, my dear? What? Michelle, whom I've been waiting on for so long, doesn't... Oh, you poor thing. You spent so long riding the currents of time that you lost sight of yourself. What? You convinced yourself that someone else's story is your own. Someone else's? Yes, indeed. It was such a beautifully tragic tale you fell in love with it. It resonated so deeply with you that you felt their pain as if it were your own. What are you talking about? I wanted to tell you, my dear, but you were so convinced it actually happened to you that I couldn't bring myself to take it away. Then, what about Michelle? She is not the one you are waiting for, and you are not hers either. Then, what about Giselle? That is not your name. Then, who am I? Who are you? That's a very silly question. You are this mansion's cursed witch. I'm the witch. That you are. You are both the maid and the witch. But how? Do you truly believe that someone who has an eternal life, who doesn't bleed when they're cut, and who can smile no matter what happens to her, isn't a witch? How much of this Giselle's memories do you actually possess, my dear? How clearly can you remember her life? You can't, can you? You don't know what kind of story Giselle and Michelle wove. And you wouldn't, because you were merely an onlooker, much like you are now for this present tale. And by contrast, how much of the witch's story do you know? You should know it very well. Yes, but that's because you... No, my telling it to you is not the reason. The details are rooted deep within your memory. Then I'm... That's right, You are the cursed witch Morgana. But you... I am you. You split into two because you refused to accept who you were. Think about it. Have I ever shown myself to you? Have I ever shown myself to anybody? That's why. I am the witch. That you are. I see. It all makes sense now. Everything has fallen into place. There's one thing I still don't understand though. The story I was so enamored with, Giselle's and Michelle's story. What kind of story was it? I would be glad to tell you. You look like you're ready to know the truth. Morgana is such a gaslighter. I believed every word she said. All my worries melted away like they were nothing. The sight of the white-haired girl no longer kicked up waves in my heart. In fact, I found myself wishing for her to find happiness. You need a calculating meme for this? Yeah, it is quite confusing, especially the first time. I mean, I have read it multiple times, so I know what's going on here, and it's still a lot to unwrap, I feel. I was an observer, watching and hoping for the best. The tragedy that befell her did sadden me, but I felt bad for her like I would a character in a story. I brought you your medicine, master. Thank you. You set it down over there. Yes? What are you staring at? My apologies. I was simply musing about how much time has passed. I can hardly believe it's been 40 years since you were a bright young businessman. And you haven't aged a day. Why, thank you. I am a witch after all. Well, I don't much care what you are. You could be the Grim Reaper for all I care. You still work harder than anyone else. May I ask you a question, master? What is it? Why have you not returned to your homeland? I thought it was a place quite dear to you. I can't wait for her. Back there. Do you still believe she will return? To a degree, I understand how difficult it can be to wait. Though for me, waiting now brings me more joy than pain. With your lifespan, master, it will be the pain that wins out. Perhaps you should consider letting go. Tell me, was her name really Michelle? Why, yes, it most certainly was. But why would you ask such a thing? Have you forgotten your own wife's name? You have waited so long that it would seem, like me, some part of you has begun to break down. You poor, poor man. You know, you look a whole lot more pitiful than me. Oh my! Oh, there you are! What has you in such a flurry, my dear? You are a noble servant. You must maintain your composure at all times. But the master! What about him? He was found deceased in his chambers. The doctor just came out. He said it was his ailment, and it would seem the master knew his time was short, for he left a will, asking not to be given a funeral. I see. I feel kind of bad for him though. Not only did he not have anyone at his side for his final moments, He didn't want to be sent off at all. Isn't that sad? It is for the best. There's not a single soul in this world left who could send him off. With your era drawn to an end, this mansion will soon return to existing nowhere in this world. I wonder what the next one will look like. I wonder if misfortune will befall her once more. That would be quite regrettable. Perhaps if I could convince her of a tragic fate, she would be willing to disappear from this realm with me. And if she wishes to fight that fate, perhaps she will become my next master. Calling her master seems inappropriate, but I cannot think of a word that fits better. I eagerly await the next era. Please do not keep me waiting for long, master. Time pressed onward, and then, at long last, you arrived. Oh, splendid! You have finally awoken. I have simply been waiting so long for this moment. Tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, master, whenever that time may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. The time had finally arrived. Oh my, you do not know who I am? Do you not know who you are either? That is quite a predicament. Then how about this? I am a servant of this mansion, and as such, I am familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, master. Let us be off then, and fear not. I merely entreat you to not let go of my hand. Should you hold it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand. And we have gone full circle. I really love this story, guys. I mean, you know that. I have said that multiple times, but it's a thing that can be said many times, really. I love this story. It's amazing. No matter what happens, no matter what you see, never again let go of this hand. That is everything. I prepared a number of things to say when she was finished with his tale, but I can't manage to put any of them into words. I almost hate myself for thinking it would be so easy, for letting myself hope I could simply pull her back to her old self, accept whatever had happened to her, take her hand in mine, and that would solve everything. The truth is much worse than I imagined, so much more harrowing. She was subjected not only to her own terrible fate, but every single one of this house's tragedies. The tales she told me are things she witnessed with her own eyes. How can I possibly blame her for forgetting me, for forgetting herself, after so many hundreds of years? No, I should be... Why? Why didn't you come for me? Why couldn't I have returned before she was so far gone? Why? Why did you show up now? Giselle. Because you opened the door to my memories, I now remember everything. But I didn't want to remember. I didn't want to be reminded of all those empty years, of the people who passed on, leaving me behind, of you, who refused to show up no matter how much I begged. I'm not the Giselle you knew anymore. I may have my memories, but I cannot go back to that time. My hands are stained with blood, my soul worn thin. The girl who would laugh at the simplest things, who would tell silly jokes and wasn't afraid to speak her mind. doesn't exist anymore. That Giselle is dead. How can you say I am the same girl? How can you say I feel the same way I did? How can you be sure that even now, I still love you? Can you deny the possibility that I no longer yearn for you, but the white-haired girl? Can you deny the possibility that my love for you has transformed into hate? She brings her hands up toward my throat, and I make no attempt to move out of her way. When her fingers brush against my skin, they feel as frigid as death itself, far colder than anything I have felt from her thus far. If she were to wrap her hands around my neck, she wouldn't even have to squeeze to stop me from breathing. This is the fork in our road. One word will decide everything. I don't have much time. Okay, I think this is a timed choice, guys, if I don't remember wrong, so I'm gonna be real quick here, because I don't want a bad ending. I have to say something before the cold robs me of my voice. I am denying it. Of course, I'll deny it. While I was floating in the darkness, I heard a voice. Regrettably, it took me far too long to realize that it was your voice, crying for help, calling for me. You may have lost hold on your old self, but somewhere, deep down, you kept calling for me, which is how I found my way here. I refuse to believe that isn't real. I refuse to stomp on a love that survived for hundreds of years. By all means, hate me. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I don't care if you spit bile at me for the rest of eternity. I will not let go of this hand. Because you asked me not to. I could kill you. Right now. If that's what you want, then go right ahead. But I'll fight you with all I've got. Giselle. I miss you too much to lose you again. I don't care if it makes you despise me. I don't care if you think I'm being inconsiderate. I want to save you. But I'm not the Giselle you once knew. I am an abomination. My mind and body are twisted beyond recognition. I'm a disgusting monster. The woman you fell in love with does not exist anymore. So just forget about me. You are the one who should be saved, set free from me. You look the same to me. Your manner of speaking, your temperament, your physical appearance may all have changed. But you are still the same Giselle I love. You should never have done anything for a foolish girl like me. You gave your life to save mine, and I hated you for that. I never once considered how you felt with those knights pointing their blades at you, or what drove you to allow me to live. I should have, but I didn't. I was the one who trusted the witch, and yet I complained when you never showed up. I unfairly resented you for it. I'm a horribly self-centered person. You would be so much better off with someone pure and unburdened with all this nasty suspicion and doubt and animosity. You would be so much happier with someone like her. Giselle. You've been paying attention, haven't you? You were there for all the tales I told you. For everything that has happened up to this moment. So you should know just how loathsome a woman I am. Too weak to even keep herself together. No, Giselle. I am nothing to compare to her. Giselle! See? You haven't changed one bit. You still get louder and louder the more you lose your temper. Why do you feel the need to compare yourself to her? Because she is a better match for you. Giselle, I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. I'm so sorry for keeping you waiting. And I want you to believe me when I say that I dearly missed you, from the bottom of my heart. I wanted you back, and that has not changed. Believe me. I love you. Oh, sorry. I miss you so much too. She leaps into my arms, and she's just as cold as ever. Her warmth deprived body feels like the embodiment of all my mistakes. I wrap my arms around her, and I'm immediately filled with unparalleled relief, even as she sobs into my chest, her body cold as ice. And then the darkness parts. We are, once more, at the top of the observation tower. It's still shrouded in a miasma of shadows, but we're back in the mansion now. We have emerged from the darkness in her heart. Michelle. Yes? I'm sorry. For what? I never should have erased you from my memories. Yours are the memories I needed to hold on to tightest. I was so glad to hear you say you still loved me, even after learning the truth about me. Thank you so much. I'm incredibly relieved. As I watched, it felt like you were slipping further and further away from me, Giselle. It terrified me. Maybe it makes me a coward, or pitiful, but I was truly afraid of you coming to hate me. I would never hate you, Michelle. Ever. Thank you. We must leave this place. What? It would not be wise for us to remain here long. The air is still thick with darkness. But the front door won't open. And even if we could get out from somewhere, what would happen to us? We finally found each other again after so long. I want to share a quiet, modest life with you like before. What if that all disappears when we step outside? After all, we are. She doesn't finish, but I feel like I know what she was going to say. We're different now. She's stepped far outside the bounds of mortality, and the same could be said of me. I am... The man known as Michelle is long since dead. The mansion itself does not follow the rules of nature either. As beings no longer in possession of the proper forms, stepping outside these walls could very well mean the end of us. I hate the heart in the way of comments. I can't read. Hang on. Uh-oh, this almost seems like a happy moment, yeah. Yeah, be wary of happiness in this game. It will lead to even more tragedy. I can't say what might lay in store, but we must return. Even though, by staying here, we could be together for all time. I don't imagine that would be a very happy life. There is no sun here. No chirping birds, no trees or breeze to rustle the leaves. If we stay here, the nothingness will eat away at us. We have finally reattained our old selves. We need to take action now, while we can. What if I say I want to stay here? Then I'll drag you out. It's almost like we switched places. Back then, it was you who wanted to stay. It's also kind of funny hearing you speak favorably of the outside, and especially the sun. The words "that's all thanks to you" are on my lips, but before I can say them, I find myself hypnotized by a smile. That smile has picked me up so many times. She claims it's her only redeeming feature, but but if she didn't have it, my life would have gone in a very different direction. I'm grateful to have gotten that back too. Say, we're in the middle of a very touching reunion, wouldn't you say? I suppose so, yes. And wouldn't you say there's a certain way these things usually go? Huh? Are you really going to make me say it? I was, hoping you might perhaps kiss me? The dead silence. What? What? Oh, seriously, what? Where did all that boldness from a second ago go? What happened to all that momentum you were building? Yeah, about that. I think that might be more appropriate later. Later? How much later? After we find an exit. Damn, she looks good in a maid outfit. Almost as good as you, yeah. Yeah, she definitely fits in this outfit, she does. But I do actually prefer like the non-maid version of Michelle, because I just associate that with a much more happy time, but she's very pretty in this as well, so yeah, I agree. Also, welcome Eldrin. You love Giselle's disappointed and pouting expressions a bit too much. Yeah, she's super cute, she's adorable. We're, you know, in a hurry. You're just making excuses because you don't want to. I swear that's not it. Giselle, let's save that for when things aren't as crazy. I can't relax and enjoy it right now. What are you, 12? Oh, hush. Alright, fine. But you'd better keep your word, got it? Promise. Dragons are never adorable. I stay quiet on this debate. I still say it depends on the dragon. Like, Spyro is very cute. So, and he's a dragon. But, yeah. I say no more. And you're welcome for the follow. I would love to follow all of you guys. That's why I got a Twitch channel as well, just to be able to follow you guys. Let's go then. Let's find a way out of the mansion. There, our frozen time should begin moving again. That's hopefully where our future waits. It will be. No, we'll make it so. Yes, we will. Spyro wouldn't be cute if he was a full-sized adult, right? No, a full-sized adult Spyro is something that would terrify me. Honestly. That would be creepy in all the wrong ways. I'm gonna stay after this goes on and argue on behalf of dragons. I mean, yeah, I know, I'm a hypocrite, but like, yeah. Sue me. Now I feel like I missed something. Hang on, I'm gonna check the backlog. If we leave the mansion, it should release ourselves as well. And in doing so, should finally provide her deliverance. So I mustn't hesitate. To end all of this, for both of us, we must start again. This is where we... What? Darkness. It's a blackness purer than everything I experience in this house. Not a trace of light anywhere to be found. Why did I ever think the house would let us go so easily? Why did I ever think our time in the darkness was over? The The darkness surges through the open door like a wave, flooding the observation tower. Like ivy growing wildly to cover every last inch of every surface. Consuming, defiling, eroding. Our fingers slip apart, and concentrated rancor rains down upon us. Ah, how hideous a world this is. Ah! No! Michelle! Please! Please! Don't let go of my hand! Giselle! Michelle! I said I would never let her go again. I said I would get her out of this place. I swore I would. But as hard as I try to stretch, I can't reach her hand. Help, Michelle! I can't move! I can't move my body! I went out of my way to give you a beautiful tragedy. So why must you so stubbornly insist on this ugliness? The more you struggle, my dears, the thicker and more palpable your filthiness becomes. Ah, it's sickening. Wouldn't you agree? She's always spat her bile with a song-like cadence, singing like a little girl, chirping like a morning bird. She celebrates misery, and she watches for the worst possible moment to let out a cackle. Morgana! We are finally getting a reveal for the witch. I swear, you two are hopeless. I pity you. I give you my deepest condolences. Let go! Let me go! Don't take me away from him! Giselle! The darkness seeping into her grew thicker by the moment, and its black tendrils weren't just wrapped around her, but me as well. Stop this, Morgana! Let her go? Wow, nothing more original. I need a devoted puppet to protect this mansion for me, so I can't give her up, not even at your request. Besides, why should I give back something you threw away? Something you abandoned again and again. What are you talking about? You still haven't figured it out, my dear. Or are you just feigning ignorance for your own convenience? You always did like to withhold anything that might prove disadvantageous. Michelle! Giselle, give me your hand. Reach harder. Reach as hard as you can. Grab my hand. I can't do it. It's like I'm tied up. I can't move at all. She's right there. She waited so many hundreds of years for me, finally managing to reclaim herself. And she's right there. So why can't my hand go any further? Why can't I reach her wrist, her hand, or even a strand of her flowing hair? Why can't I get her back again? Michelle! Her voice is growing fainter, more distant. The darkness shrouds her, taking her away from me. Her arms, her fingers, the hand she led me with. Her smiling face, her once glowing grin, and her now more modest smile. The witch's darkness is stealing every last bit of her. Michelle! Stop! Please don't do this! Take me instead of her! Why? Why does it have to be her? Why her? Morgana! Why? Because your work is done, my dear. By all accounts, as the one who resurrected me, you should have become my guide as well. But you let a silly woman emotionally manipulate you, and you gave up on cursing others. And then, you threw away your life, deluded into thinking you were protecting her. You're really good at this acting thing. Thank you! That's very kind of you. I'm doing my best. Morgana! You already gave up the position once. Don't think you can just walk up and ask for it back. Set yourself free. I'll do anything you ask. If you need a puppet, I'll be your puppet. If you want more from me, it's yours for the taking. But I can't leave her. To remain in this cursed house any longer. You certainly have let your obsession with this girl take its toll on you. I much prefer the old, pessimistic, cynical Michelle. It wasn't until I met Giselle that I truly became human. She made me into what I'm supposed to be. I can't lose her again. Is that so? Well, you'll come to the harsh realization soon enough that everything you saw in her was just a facade. It was not. Alright then. If you want her back so badly, you can have her. But in exchange, I want you to entertain me. Will you endure maddening agony for me? Will you know pain enough to make you howl? Will you face despair? Again and again and again. If you need her that badly, you can bear anything, can't you? If that is what you want from me, if that will allow her to see the sun once more. Brilliant. Wait, Morgana! Morgana! As you wish, foolish boy. I was looking for a way to keep busy anyway, so I used you to kill some time. Find your way to me, my dear. Find your way to me without going mad or succumbing to despair. And do hurry, or she might lose her mind again. Those memories you forced her to relive, those hundreds of years she spent locked away in a shell, all that fear that ate away at her, it's a bit much to have to reflect on with a clear mind, wouldn't you say? That's why I need to be there for her. Why I have to get her out of here. That's my obligation to her. You're the one who let go of her hand, though. You can't put a broken cup back together, but the slightest tap in the wrong place will shatter it again. Morgana! Oh, her laugh. She is having a blast. You belong to an amateur theatre group and you acted on stage concerts and stuff? Wow, okay. That's very cool. I never done. I was in like a short theatre class in school, but it was very short and I was only having a minor role, so I didn't do much speaking at all. But I do think this is very fun to do, so I do tend to believe I have what's the word? English is hard sometimes. But I do have a passion for it. I think it's very fun to do. And as I told you with my writing, I do tend to like sit and imagine dialogues a lot in my head, so I kind of just try to do that here, but out loud. You were second lead role? That's very awesome. Then I very much even more appreciate the compliment. Thank you. The witch's cackling fades into the distance. My outstretched hand is completely enveloped in the shadows. I can't even make out the faintest outline of it. And I can't tell if I'm sinking, floating, being pushed along some invisible stream, or falling with incredible speed. My eyes are open, but they can detect nothing. The complete lack of sound is almost painful. Nothing, anything, anywhere. Void. My consciousness begins to drift. Vague remnants of the feeling of her hand in mine are my only link to reality, my one and only landmark. Giselle. I must get her back. She waited, enduring for hundreds, no, almost 1,000 years. And now, it's my turn to act. I have to hold that resolve. Hold it firm. So that I never forget her again. So that I never lose myself again. Even if I'm consumed by the darkness. You must never back down. You must never look away. You must never lose her. Wait, what? What's this? Is this new for this version of the game? I have never seen that before. Are we treading into new territory? Now I'm very curious. Also, I see that the time is running away. I'm thinking I could do maybe like half an hour more if you guys are up for it. But if you feel tired, I completely understand it. What do you say? Do you want me to keep going for half an hour more? Or should we pause there? It's a pretty good place to pause. And in the meanwhile, I can tell you a little bit of a story. When I first played this game, I remember this scene with Giselle being taken away by the witch very clearly, because I was camping with my parents, and I was laying in my bed with my computer and just binging the story because I was so enthralled by it. And I remember this scene and I was like, okay, I'm so close to the end, which I wasn't because this is a long game. But I just kept going and going and going. I remember this scene really made an impact on me. So I still remember that specific time when I was camping with my parents from that scene. I would love more, but I feel like this is also a beautiful point to wrap up, and stopping now also means I get to catch up. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think this is a good place to pause it, so let's do that. Let's not outgo words. Let's not keep it on for too long then. Let's see if OBS is working with me today. It is. Perfect. On my Bloodborne stream, for some reason I couldn't... When I pressed my my buttons, nothing happened, so I had to do everything manually on the computer. But yeah, we've made quite some progress again. We are done with the Maid's Tale, and we are heading into apparently new territory. I have no idea what's going to come next, because the story behind the story, I have no idea what that is about. I don't think that was in the original version of the game, because this is the first time that I'm playing the Switch version, so... And I know there are some stuff that are different, but I thought all of those were like after the game. So I'm confused and I'm very curious. So next time will be extra exciting. Yeah, so the next stream will be on Thursday, 15 GMT. I will be playing Bloodborne, and the House in Fata Morgana stream will be on Monday next week, 15 GMT. Who made my model? I bought, or I commissioned for her to be made. My VTuber mom is called Hebeshan. I can give you a link to her her page later in Discord if you want to. But yeah, I commissioned for her to be made because I have no drawing skills whatsoever, and the rigging process seems terrifying. I am so impressed by all of you who does that, because I could never. I would not have the patience for it. My god, it seems like a lot of work. But yeah, also speaking of coming streams, on Sunday I will be holding a writing stream. So the thought there is that I've had one before. I will be hosting 2 writing sprints. So we talk a bit about writing, and then we write for about 25 minutes on our own projects, and then we talk a bit more and write some more. So if you want to work on your project, I know you, Eldrin, write, you are very welcome to come and do some writing. I feel like a child when I draw. Absolutely disgusting thinking people are praising it. Well, yeah, I really can't draw. I mean, I told you about my whole rabbit story, about the parachuting, what's it called again? Hang on, I Google Translate real quick. Oh yeah, hang on. Might, that's the word. Yeah, I drew a rabbit in a sunset. It was in black and white, so I mean, the sunset may have not been super clear, but like, it was a rabbit. And my parents, both of them, thought it was a mite parachuting. Like, yeah, that's the skill I have with drawing. My mom bought me some like anime drawing book for Christmas, and I'm like, I mean, I would love to learn, but I am very much questioning my ability to. But one day I will read it and see if I can learn something. But my god, I do not have any born talent for it, that's for sure. You would love to see that drawing. I don't have it. It must have got lost when we have moved or something, because it's gone. You're too impatient for drawing. Yeah, me too. And also, I believe I have, like, not fully, but partial at least, aphantasia, because I have a very hard time picturing stuff in my head. Like, if I have seen them before, I can definitely see it in front of me, but otherwise I have a very hard time. So like, for example, when I'm reading, it's much easier if I have seen the movie before, because then I know what everything looks like. But if I have to just read everything and it changes the locations a lot, for example, or if it's like describing a lot what the room is like, it's just all ineffective to me, because I barely can see it at all. I just see the minimum that I need to figure out where we are. So yeah, that would also probably interfere with my drawing talent. Maybe you could do more abstract stuff. Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I'm still not sure what I would do. I mean, I would probably, if I did that, I would probably just experiment without a clear image in my mind, but I'm not sure how good that would be either. So what about when you write and describe a place yourself then? I bullshit a lot. I mean, it's the same there. I try to just describe what I need for the scene, and not like hang on too much to the details. I do keep the details that I need, and then maybe I sprinkle out something for the readers, just to, because I know people do like descriptions, but I bullshit a lot. I try to keep it to a bare minimum, just as much as I need for the scene, really. Yeah. But yeah, more talking about writing on Sunday. So yeah, next stream Thursday, Bloodborne, 15:15 GMT. Then on Sunday we will do a writing stream. That will be, let's see here, it will be 12 GMT, so lunchtime. And then the next House in Fata Morgana stream will be on Monday, 15:15 GMT. But I will put up my schedule on Sunday as well, as usual. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. And I will see you next time. Bye!